Once a Hornet, always a Hornet.
This guy, I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna be all over the place, but this guy, man, I mean, he knows everything, he does everything as far as, he does the research, he does the jackets, he does, puts it all together, he listens to all our complaints. Our president, DJ, our president, Carlos Fairmont.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm glad we could save you all some money so you didn't have to go to Canton, Ohio to the NFL's Hall of Fame today. You don't have to leave your community. You can stay right in Prince George's County and go to the Hall of Fame. So thank you for coming out and supporting us today. Again, welcome to the second annual Hall of Fame ceremony presented by the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association. My name is Carlos Perlman. I am the founder and president. This organization was established to honor Coach Ralph Payne. Rest in peace. During the last 2 years, this journey has unlocked a treasure chest of unparalleled history. I want to personally thank everyone who is here today supporting the school and the football program we love. This afternoon, we will celebrate excellence on and off the field and honor those who have made the program, school, and community great. While the list is not perfect, I can assure you it is excellent. Today, we will add 50 men to the existing 49 Hall of Fame inductee members for a total of 99. During the 65 seasons since the program began, approximately 1,600 men have played or coached in this program. This means by the end of the ceremony, only 6.3% will be a Hall of Fame inductee. That is an elite group. That's right, elite. All right. Today's ceremony is about more than men who play or coach the game. It's about a program that motivates, encourages, gives back, and models excellence on and off the field for the school and the community. This organization, okay, the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association, has made several donations during the past year, but there are two that I want to focus on today to make sure you're aware of. We have purchased, donated, and delivered new championship banners to Athletic Director McDaniels to be hung in the new Fairmont Heights High School. Those walls will no longer be bare. Okay? They represent the history of all football championships through 2018, basketball state championships, boys and girls from the 50s through 2017, and indoor and outdoor state championships through 1980. And any of you guys who graduated in the 60s and 70s, I probably got 150 emails talking about how great those track teams were, so you will be represented. Thank you. The second thing is we produced a documentary called Living History. Several of our legacy players gave their perspective on what it was like to be a black student athlete in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s when the school integrated. You can do this on YouTube by searching for Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association. You have to search this way by putting in a full title to distinguish it from the other Fairmont Heights videos. But it's about 45 minutes, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It really gave us a great perspective on what happened in the 1950s and 1960s and the early 70s, which really leads us to where we are today. Fairmont Heights football alumni are leaders who have achieved great success as fathers, husbands, coaches, mentors, career employees, small business owners, educators, first responders, military veterans, government employees, professional football players. You got Fred Tabron and Harvey Broadway Dorsey in the house, so thank you for showing up today, guys. We even have guarded U.S. presidents and U.S. vice presidents. Enoch Rogers was not able to make it today, but thank you, Enoch Rogers, class of '86. And also Tim Sampson, class of '86, rest in peace. I still remember when he called me and told me about how he was sitting in a little booth outside of Dan Quayle's vice president mansion back in the 90s. But he said he did it for the country. So we have great alumni who have come not only from Fairmont Heights, but have learned a lot of discipline and excellence from our football program. And then last, I will say this. Also, even a kid who didn't like math, and this kid even asked his math teacher, Coach George Wade, what do we need this for? Okay? Ended up making a living as a bank manager, and I'm an accountant for this as well. So thank you, Coach Wade. And also Joe Pratt, who's one of my math teachers as well at Fairmont Heights. It makes a big difference. Kids, listen to your teachers. It'll come back one day to help you. Going from there, I want to thank you to everyone who contributes to excellence in the lives of their families and communities every day. And please be aware of this, okay? Your support is needed to continue in this mission of promoting athletic and academic excellence. Everything you see has been produced by the donations of our football alumni, including myself, okay? We are an official 501c3 nonprofit organization. You can verify this by doing a Maryland Business Entity Search and/or visiting IRS.gov. This means that all donations can be used to provide tax relief during your annual filing, and year-end letters will be sent out during the first 2 weeks in January. So all support is needed. There were no grants, there were no government funds, no. Football alumni went into their pockets and bought the banners. They paid for everything. We sold the tickets to make this happen, but they stepped up. So I want to thank, just give them a hand, all the football alumni. I want to also make sure, you guys are here, obviously it's turned into one of the greatest reunions ever, as well as a Hall of Fame ceremony. But I want to make sure you guys understand the process. This isn't just a bunch of guys getting together picking their friends. I want to make sure you guys know of these important facts. No man can nominate themselves, okay? We will accept nominations from anyone, including friends, family, and of course football alumni. The nominee must have graduated a minimum of 10 years ago, so their achievements can be compared to those who came before and after. If the nominee is living, we must be able to contact them before proceeding with the Hall of Fame process. We won't use their name and likeness unless it's a public yearbook or team photo. So in other words, if you've been nominated, you're on the ballot, we'd like to move forward with induction, we can never reach you, but we know you are living, that could be an issue. We don't want to use your likeness and your names. We want to be able to get in contact with you, get your permission. It's a different story. If someone is moving on, we'll get in touch with a family member. So please be aware of those things. Also, all Living Hall of Fame coaches are reached out to, are contacted for input and recommendations. So thank you, Coach Wade. Thank you, Coach Sharpless. Also, Coach Boone is not here. And also, Skip Hutton. I think Skip calls me once a week to let me know, what players should be and what players we need to recognize. And he's very actively involved, as all the coaches are. And even Coach Pipeflow as well. So thank you guys very much. That means a lot. They're still involved helping to make the program great. I personally want you to know as well, I reach out to each nominee in an attempt to collect their football biography. I also do interviews by phone and in person. I take all of the information back to the board and post it weekly on our Facebook page. We call this Throwback Thursday. Anybody ever seen Throwback Thursday out there? Okay. That's a chance for us to go back and brag a little bit about some of the accomplishments and some of the great players who've come along. And we're not through yet. We're just getting started. All right. There are 36 football alumni who vote to achieve the desired induction amount. This year it's 50. Last year was 49. 49, the number 50 was the Hill. Anybody familiar with the Hill? Okay, 1401 9th Street? Okay. All right, the Hill, he made an appearance here. We have the picture right over here to the left, so to my left. The 36 men who vote they're not just all from one class. The goal was to try to get someone from at least every other class from the 65-year history. So our most senior election official is from the class of 1966. Our youngest election official is from the class of 2005. So we have everyone else is somewhere in between. The election ballot opens 1 week before Super Bowl Sunday and closes at kickoff 7 days later on Super Bowl Sunday. The results are announced on Facebook Live the following week. Okay, we had a lot of success with that this past year. Myself, Tony, Dale, and Stefan were there, and I know Ed was there in spirit as well, but it actually went a lot better, so we're probably going back to Facebook Live again to make that announcement. And then after communication of induction, the process begins to get ready for the next ceremony, which will be held annually the first Saturday of August. So this isn't just a one-year hit. We're going to try to do this every year to preserve the history of the school, not just the football program, but we're going to try to preserve the history of the school as well. I think it's very important that people know who the people were who were great in the classroom, the great teachers, the great principals, the great players, everyone who contributed. You know, when something in this community goes wrong or at our school, it makes the news in about an hour. When there was an incident at Fairmont Heights this year, I had a football alumni from New York get me the message within 1 hour. So you know what? We need to turn that around. When we make when one of our students or something positive happens at Fairmont Heights High School, we need to turn that around. And I want the media to put it out there within an hour that yes, we have a student who's going to an Ivy League school or who has a 3.8 grade point average. And you know, we're going to celebrate some excellence today about education as well. So we need to change things around, and you know what? We're going to step up as football alumni because Coach Payton told me and told all my teammates, if the football team does well, we're all going to do well. So we're going to lead the way in that, okay? All right, with that being said, I'm going to conclude my opening speech, and I wanted to make sure I gave you as much information as possible because I want to let you know that this is a legitimate organization that's going to move forward to really try to support the school program in the community. Going last, we will honor off-the-field excellence first, which is coming up, and then the jacket ceremony. The inductees will be called individually, similar to a high school or college graduation. Each will enter the stage from the crowd's left, okay, or maybe up front. We'll take a look at that in a moment as well, but they'll come in from the left, have the jackets placed on them, and be presented a certificate. And I will acknowledge that we had 3 certificates that somehow a printing error occurred, but those 3 players, we'll make sure we get those 3 certificates out to you, but your jacket is definitely here, I can guarantee that, okay? They'll take an individual picture and they're going to stand to the right of the stage, okay? The reason we're doing that is, there'll be 4 groups. Once we get each group up, when we finish group 1, they're all going to be standing to the right of the stage, and we're going to give them what we call an Oscar minute to say something, okay? You know how you watch the Oscars and those great ceremonies, and the movie of the year, and everybody comes up and sends a thank you out? We only have about a minute to do it, but I wanted to give the guys an opportunity to at least to send a shout out to their loved ones, okay? And we'll call that the Oscar minute. At that point, they'll go back to their seat and we'll get group 2 up. So group 1, when we start, will be legacy players. That's anyone who's graduated 50 years ago or more. Group 2 will be the skill players, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. Group 3 will be Coach Sharpless's favorite group, linebackers and defensive backs. All right? And group 4, oh man, you know I had to bring the linemen in last. Offensive line, defensive line, you guys are going to bring it home for us. After that, we will take a team picture for 2022, and we will unveil the perpetual plaque that has your name etched in it that will go back to the school to go in the showcase next to the 2021. So we hope 100 years from now that plaque will still be around with your name on it. All right, guys. In closing, before I step off the stage so gracefully, I will say this. Last year when we were preparing, our ceremony, myself and Tony Law, we went to a place in Alexandria, Virginia to try to get trophies. We're trying to figure out, how we're going to put this thing together, how we're going to recognize people. And on the way back, we drove past T.C. Williams High School. Okay? If anybody knows anything about high school football, they made a pretty good movie called Remember the Titans about 20 years ago, right? And, me and Tony stopped, we looked out over the field, we say, they got a great story. but so do we, okay? So, I'll tell you like this. I know why they say they want to remember the Titans, but before you leave today, I promise you, you will never forget the Hornets. Let's go. Okay guys, at this time, I would like to ask, we have a couple guest speakers, and I know one is in attendance right now, and I would like to ask if this gentleman would come up to the microphone and at least bless us with his education and his history of Fairmont Heights and the program. He is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this afternoon. What makes this person so special is that the first football team walked on the field in 1956 with Fairmont Heights, even though the school opened in 1950. We got an original Hornet here today. He played on the first few teams, class of 1959. Mr. Eugene Trigger Jordan, would you mind coming to the mic? All right, Mr. Eugene Jordan, nicknamed Trigger because he was so fast on his feet. Sir, the mic is yours. We appreciate you coming out. And once a Hornet, always a Hornet.
Graduated from Fairmont Heights in 1959. Great year. When the school was being built, I used to run from my house in Fairmont Heights over and run through the building while they were constructing it. The thing I want to share with you is Fairmont Heights made me the man that I am today. I'm an educator, still educated. I am now 81 years old. I will never forget Coach Farmer. He was the guy who took me out of the bad side of the community and allowed me to become the person that I am today. And I want to thank him. I would like to salute as well, I'm going to say his name. We called him Ralphie. I want to salute the family of Ralph Payton. We spent a year together at Ralphie State as roommates. It is amazing how things come around full circle. And that is the way it is. And that is basically all that I have to say. There is nothing like being a Hornet. And a Hornet for life.
Mr. Eugene Jordan, guys, class of 1959. Thank you, thank you. I want to ask, did Mr. Joe Parker arrive? Mr. Joe Parker? Do we have Mr. Joe Parker in the house yet? All right. Come to the stage, Mr. Joe Parker, class of 1975. And what makes Mr. Joe Parker's story so inspirational to me is that I went to one of his 1970s reunions with his classmates in February. And man, the love was everywhere. And Mr. Parker is part of the first class to integrate Fairmont Heights. He arrived in 1972, fall of 1972. And I want him to come up and really explain what being a Hornet means to him and how he watched the integration. And for all the younger people who are here, I was trying to figure out when I was growing up why all my friends' parents went to Fairmont Heights High School. I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was the only high school in the county. It was one of two black high schools in the county, the other one being Douglas, in the southern part of PG County. So you had to go to Fairmont Heights up until 1972. You didn't have a choice, okay? So I know that seems foreign to a lot of young people today that they couldn't go to the same high school as someone of a different race. Yes, that actually existed, okay? And a man who was part of the integration is here. At this time, please give a big round of applause to Mr. Joe Parker, class of 1970.
Greetings, everyone. I'd like to start, of course, with thanking God. I want to thank Mr. Perlman, Mr. Tyler. I want to thank all of the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association inductees past and present. And I want to give a special thanks to my teammates of class of 1975. Please stand. You were in class of 1975 on the football team, please. We have Maurice Wilson, inductees, Ray Gibbs, Michael Presley, and Ken Best, everybody else. These guys represent a very, very special time. You guys can sit down. You guys, y'all look at all the time. But I want to say that in our class, and this is in my view, Mr. Maurice Brooks, we nicknamed him Maurice Mad Dog Brooks. Maurice, literally, and I'm not lying, I would have a conversation going into the locker room doing practice or doing game day with Maurice, and all of a sudden, as soon as we walked over the threshold into the locker room, he would transform. I became afraid to even talk to the guy. Brooks was truly the epitome of a fierce Fairmont Heights Hornet. Middle linebacker, respected by every county football team in this area. But let me say this on the heels of what Carlos mentioned. This particular class started playing football at Mary McLeod Bethune Junior High School. We had a group of athletes that played both football, basketball under Coach Payton and Piper. See, many of you all first were introduced to Coach Payton at Fairmont. At Bethune, we had Coach Payton as our basketball coach, and Piper was our football coach. But under both of them, we earned and won championships in our 9th grade year. So let me just take you back as a child. I'm like 11, 12, 15 years old, and I'm literally standing outside the fence of Fairmont Heights doing football games. It was the most exciting thing to me because I saw a black quarterback, Mr. Cornell Jones. He had white shoes. He was just good to look at, but he had all the real skills that a pro quarterback would have. These are the kind of images that we saw that we really wanted to become a part of as we grew up. So when we left Bethune going to Fairmont, we thought that we were going to be coached by the legends. The legends at that time were Coach Cashwell in football, Coach Freeman in basketball. But during that same time, we got caught up in a political situation. The Washington Post wrote an article in 1981 that kind of reflects on what happened in '72. And it reads, "Rebuilding a legacy at Fairmont Heights." Fairmont Heights was one of the big 4 high schools in the Prince George's County area, along with Bladensburg, Suitland, and Northwestern. When it opened in 1950, it was designed and equipped to educate more than 1,000 students. But from the day the principal, Mr. James Golson, welcomed the school's first students that fall, Fairmont Heights High School was special to the students, the faculty, and the solidly black community that surrounded it. As a black school in Prince George's County, segregated system, Fairmont Heights thrived in separate but equal isolation for 19 years, developing strong roots in the neighborhoods of Fairmont Heights, Capitol Heights, and Beaver Heights. In 1969, the federal government pressed county authorities to integrate the remaining all-black schools when the school board withdrew attendance boundaries so that student populations would become half white, half black. White parents moved away, arranged transfers for their children, and put them in private schools in such numbers that the enrollment declined to 713 students, compared to the pre-integration enrollment of 1,300 students. As the board pursued its controversial effort to integrate the system, it tried twice in 1972 and 1974 to close Fairmont Heights and bus its students to other schools, but the school and the community protested and succeeded in keeping the school open. Much of what these gentlemen put together, we wouldn't be here today to celebrate this moment. We would not. So, I just want to say that we, the class of '75, really truly represent the Hornets moment. We were the first class to put an integrated class on the field. Football is all about cultivating relationships of a brotherhood. I just want to let you know, we played side by side some white cats that were fierce. They are our brothers. I love them. I love them. Palmer Grotty, about 6'5", 300 pounds. Put Palmer Grotty on the line on defense. The offensive coaches knew when we played them, don't go that way. They had a one-way out that they could go there. And if they went that way, more than likely they're gonna run into Mad Dog Brooks. Trust and believe, we had natural athletic ability on the team. And we were very, very well coached. But let me just say this about Coach Payton. Coach Payton developed a way of communicating. He was a great communicator. He used words to control you. He also used words to inspire you. But I remember when we were in junior high school, Coach Payton would always say, especially you brothers that ran the hill, he would say, when they're going to get tough, when they're going to get tough, that would inspire you because we would be running that hill in like a day like now in August, full gear on, had to get it on. And we were always afraid of running the hill a second or third time after we thought it was all over. So again, I just want to thank everybody for their time and listening to what we see as being a very unique and having the distinction of being the first class to put an integrated football team, very competitive on the field. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I want to say again, this is an honor to be here with so much Fairmont Heights royalty. I mean, we have more people here today under one roof that have contributed to the excellence of the school than probably maybe in the history of the school. So again, thank you guys for your support. At this time, you know, we put this program together, you know, I may be maybe a founder and a president, but you can't do it without you can't do it without board members, and you can't do it without senior board members. So at this time, I want to reintroduce some of our senior board members to you, have them come up and have them give you their perspective on what this means to them. So right now, let me go ahead and start. You've already heard from our MC, Mr. Stefan Ganser, but let me call Mr. Stefan Ganser over just to get his perspective on what this program means to him. Stefan, please.
All right, just be real quick, and I just, when Mr. Parker was just talking, so I just Googled something in the back. The first black referee that rep in Prince George's County was in 1970. I want you to look at that banner. We won championships in 66, 67, 68, and 69, and we didn't see not one black rep. So you can imagine the war that they had to go through. So the seed that I see in front of me, oh, it's so amazing. I can't even express what I feel, but that's about it.
All right, well said, Stefan. And if you didn't know, Stefan's from the class of '86. The next senior board member, this gentleman, he has many nicknames, but I still remember when I thought I had the sack in the '84 championship game, and I know I had the sack. Quarterback was throwing the ball away. I felt the laces go through my hands, and then I heard a roar. I'm like, what the heck is going on? The legend of Fast Eddie Henderson was born. He intercepted the pass, took it to the house. We won the championship. I got my jacket. We got our jacket. And now he's a senior board member and has contributed to this program immensely. Ed Henderson, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to all the Hornets. Welcome back. This is a great event. I am really honored to be a part of this organization and really honored to be on the senior board with the Fairmont Heights football alumni. I just want to take a minute to recognize Coach Payton, Coach Cashwell. They're no longer with us, but they're in our hearts. Coach Sharpless, Coach Wade, they are here today. I want to recognize them real quick. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And You know, I guess we all have our stories. You know, and I'm not going to get into too many of the stories, but without them pushing us to the brink of just dying on the football field, we would not have known greatness. You know, so we really understand now what they thought. And some of us have gone on to be coaches. So Coach Rodney, the current head football coach at Fairmont Heights, he's here. Let's clap it up for Coach Rodney. Also football alumni from Fairmont Heights and a Hall of Fame member. And Coach Dwight Hines. Who you got, Dwight? Yeah, he coaches JV. Clap it up for Dwight. I'm also one of the former coaches of Fairmont Heights football. So, and Coach Gans. Clap it up for Coach Gans. He's a former head football coach. So it's all about giving back. It's all about giving back from what we receive. You know, it's all about making sure that Fairmont Heights continues to be great. All right? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that. I mean, wow, we got some great stories. You're going to hear a lot more today. Some of the stories will blow you away, and the others will just make you smile and just want to go love somebody. So, the next senior board member that has, you know, given his all and really supported the program at the highest possible level. He is the first recipient of the Ralph C. Payton Man of the Year Award, which is for community service. And it's our football alumni MVP award, okay? This is Coach Payton. He valued excellence on and off the field. He kind of one of the best players many of us ever played with because of what he did off the field. So that told you right there where his priorities were. And at this time, I'm going to announce senior board member Dale DeBerry, so you can get his perspective on what we're doing, and also this great award that he will be presenting a little bit later today. Dale DeBerry.
Thank you, Carlos. Welcome, everyone. This is really, really beautiful to see all the people here, okay? And the number one reason for, all of us, who played, during the tenure of Coach Payton is to support his legacy, to represent him. It was such an honor to play for him. And when we talk about the Man of the Year or the Service, of the Year, which I'll talk about in greater length later on in the program, it is truly a blessing, to represent him in that realm. I currently coach at the Malcolm Catholic football, and I coach at Wise High School basketball, continuing service, and I coached, maybe 10 to 12 years with Coach Wake, who also has been a tremendous influence to me in my life. So I want to also recognize family members for Coach Payton that are here in attendance at our table. Ms. Brenda Tucci Crouch, a niece, and Ms. Camille Terry, a cousin. Please stand, both of you. We can give them a warm clap. Okay. Again, I cannot emphasize how important this whole thing is to me, and what a special place in my heart that Coach Payton kind of resides. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dale. And the next senior board member I want to present is the vice president, and he has given the world's greatest support. I think we caught him at the right time because he retired from his career job last year, so that it helped us open up a few things. But he is one of the greatest players in the history of the school. When I played, I graduated 5 years after him. But I can tell you, all 4 years that I played at Fairmont Heights High School, every time a play wasn't run correctly, anytime a drop pass, a missed blocking assignment occurred, Tony Law wouldn't have let this happen. Also, the Queen brothers wouldn't have let this happen either. So we had to learn, who are these guys, man? Are they legends? Who are they? We hear about this consistently. Well, I'm glad to say there's legends on our team. Please welcome Tony Law, Vice President, to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is really nothing else to say after all that they have said. But I'm just glad to be here and glad to be a part of the elite group of men, football players, student athletes who led by example. Some of the older guys were trailblazers. As I said before, they led us to where we are. I'm proud of the man that I've become because of being involved with these guys. We all had the same dreams and the same visions, and I was blessed to be playing with certain players. I got a few of them on here tonight that just want to mention that if I don't call y'all nothing personal, I forget a lot, but I have a little story that I want to share. I remember my brother over there, Keenan Ellaby. I believe we were playing in the championship game against Douglas, and it was a punt. And when they punted the ball, he caught it. He had good field position, but it was a penalty. I said, kick it again. He was like, why you want to kick it again? I said, man, just get ready to catch the ball. They kicked the ball again, and he ran back for a touchdown. And we were the first champions for Ralph Payton. That was a great day. I want to thank my brother, Young Relaxer, out there. My brother L. We was the L&L boys. That was the running back tandem, man. And we used to put it down. Queen Brothers, honored. QB Farrell, the Farrell family, honored. And that's all I want to say. Thank you all for coming up.
Thank you, Tony. All right, as we continue to move on, I really want to, again, continue to thank everyone for showing up and supporting us. At this time, we're going to transition into our off-the-field awards. And at this time, I want to ask Coach Rodney Williams to come up.
Right.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Rodney Williams, and I'm the current head football coach at Fairmont Heights High School. When I took over the team, and knowing all this history and tradition, I wanted to try to see what can we do to reconnect tradition with the current kids, right? So what better way to do it than invite them here today? So I'd like to ask Jaden Thomas, Rail Thomas, to come on up, Jonathan Lamb, Desmond Jordan, Daniel Fuse, come on up. Now we talk about the 50s, 60s, 70s. I want to talk about 22, 23. Because we about to go to war.
All right. We are tying the past to the present. Again, our most fierce warrior, Fairmont Heights football alumni, class of '59, Eugene Jordan's in the house. And now we have players from class of '22 and class of '23 in the house. Hey. This lets you know excellence does exist. Don't believe the hype in the media that we can't do anything right, that we only do things wrong. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? We're going to change this game a little bit, and we're going to celebrate excellence, okay? I will say this. We collected, again, the football alumni stepped up. No grant came forward. I'm going to call out. There were several men who donated money on behalf of a deceased player or coach. And I want to, acknowledge them right now for their donations. Myself, I stepped up and I donated money on behalf of Coach Ralph Payton, Coach Bob Cashwell, and player Edward Jordan, class of '65. So that was my donation. Tony Law stepped up and donated on behalf of Lamont Adair, class of 2011. Please bear with me. my memory's good, but I'm covering 65 years of football program, so I might not remember every class. Gary Freeland, he donated on behalf of Wayne, a player, Wayne Washington. John Brooks donated on behalf of players Lawrence Dickerson and Robert Bobby Johnson. Petey Stewart, class of 68, donated. Yes, Petey, my man. Got a cheering squad over there right now. Petey donated on behalf of his teammate Lawrence Dickerson. Eric Woodland donated on behalf of his brother Alfred Woodland, who will be inducted today. Tim Kadurgis, class of 88, donated on behalf of the following players: Ronald Pendergrass, Sean Early, Jeff Turner, and Joey Necessary. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take 45 seconds to tell you this very quickly. You know, in our school district, I'm not sure if there are any $1 million homes, okay? Prince George's County has plenty of them. I'm not even sure if there's any $500,000 homes in our school district. So if you have one, congratulations to you. But the reality is, when I was growing up, and a lot of us were growing up, we just simply didn't have money. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, we did not have money for anything. I had to decide when school started whether I was going to buy football cleats or new shoes, okay? I had holes in the shoes because you had one pair of shoes you wore until you wore them out. You didn't like have a multiple set of shoes you can just change day to day, okay? So I bought football cleats. I was prepared to go to school my junior year with holes in my shoes so I could play football. But I had a neighbor across the street who saw me with a football jersey. I didn't put two and two together till many years later, okay? He asked me if I wanted to cut his grass that summer, okay? So I'm like, sure. You think we'll make some money cutting grass? I'm like, sure, yeah, all right. So I cut grass for him that summer. I think I did it pretty well. He asked me to come back and cut again. So he actually put me in a position, instead of going to school with holes in my shoes, I took that money from cutting grass and I bought the original Air Jordans and went to school. So I later found out that neighbor across the street was Edward Jordan, class of 65, Fairmont High School football alumni. The football alumni have been doing great things for a long time. We're just bringing it to the surface right now. So when we award money or scholarships or sponsorships today, I want you to know it's on behalf of people like Edward Jordan and all the other people who looked out for all the kids in the neighborhood and with the program. So with that being said, and just to give you guys a heads up, we knew four players were coming. We have a fifth today. So I will be following up with something for that fifth player as well. But for the ones we didn't know who were going to attend today, I want you guys to be aware of this. And I'm probably going to ask them to come up and just give us a quick word. Because really what you're looking at in this situation is excellence. We're talking about, we have two players. One player, Mr. Jonathan Lamb, who just graduated, class of 22. Okay. Yep. This gentleman was not only an outstanding player, but I hope I don't get his GPA wrong, but I know he was north of 3.6. Okay? So when you talk about excellence, I think that's excellent. Okay? I was on the Honor Society, and I think 3.5 was probably the highest I got. So I know what this guy's going through as far as studying. So, excellent job. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and Stefan, if we have something over for Mr. Jonathan Lamb? Do we have something there?
While they're taking care of that, I also just want to talk about the essence of being a Hornet, and this guy is that. Because not only did he maintain the 3.4 GPA, he played lacrosse, he played baseball, he wrestled, he finished #1 in the region in wrestling, and in the county in wrestling, #3 in the region in wrestling, and he also was on the band, played the instrument as well.
All right, guys, we're talking excellence here, right? You know, our kids from my neighborhood don't do anything right? Nah, they do plenty right. We're gonna bring it to the highlight. We're gonna highlight it today. Mr. Jonathan Lamb, on behalf of the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association and your excellence on and off the field, again, we may not be a rich alumni association, but we're gonna give you everything we got. We got a check for $500 for you to take off to college. Last sign personally saying thank you for upholding the tradition and standards of excellence at Fairmont Heights High School. Also the $500 check in the back of the sir. I'm going to present you with that, sir. Okay? And thank you very much. Want to say anything? I also want to make sure I give you a letter.
My association and thank Coach Riley for giving me a chance to play all 4 years, practice, and just develop as a person on and off the field. And I would also like to thank my mom because it's been a ride. And
All right. Hey, excellence continues. You know, we're going to try something new this year. You know, I know most alumni associations, and if you guys didn't know, football alumni associations are not uncommon. It's about 25 in the entire country. There's 3 in Maryland. Okay, there's 1 in Berlin, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore. There's actually a Catholic school in Anne Arundel County that has one. There is actually a high school in Cumberland, Maryland, that has a football alumni association. So they're not uncommon. And then the rest of them are spread out like Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, Texas, and California. Now, the point I'm trying to make is now approximately 24,000 high schools in the U.S. There's only approximately 25 football alumni associations. And guess what? We're the only one in Prince George's County or in the Washington metropolitan area. So you are part of something special. All right. With excellence continuing, this next player, we really wanted to make sure that we looked out for players who were returning as well. In the spirit of Edward Jordan, you know, sometimes we give what we can to all the players going off to college. They don't need it because college is expensive. But there are kids that are really good kids that are doing great in the classroom. They're doing their best to be good people. You know, we focus a lot on the bad. There's good kids. Man, we don't want no kids going to school with holes in their shoes. No, we don't want that. We want them to have the things they need so they can move forward. So at this time, we're going to present our next award. Let me grab. This student returning, Mr. Jarrell Thomas, is a returning senior. He is representing the program correctly on the field and off the field. I've been informed that he's pushing 3.6 in the GPA. So Mr. Thomas, we'd like to present you what we call a sponsorship, okay? Since you're under 18, we don't want to just give you cash, but we would like to sponsor you for up to $250 of any of your senior expenses. You need to buy a lettering jacket, you need to buy cleats, you need to buy cap and gown, you need tickets to the prom, whatever you need. You just give us a call, we're going to take care of that for you. So come on up. We're also going to present you again with this letter from the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association that says thank you for upholding the standards of excellence for the Fairmont Heights football program and the Fairmont Heights High School. Sir, you're welcome if you want to say anything to everyone in attendance.
I just want to say thank you for supporting me, and I want to thank my coach, Coach Marty. You know, he's been great, you know, helping me get out there, helping me better myself. I also want to thank my dad. You know, he's always been there, helping me, training me.
All right, guys. Hey, excellence continues. One of the things I really like about this, the fact that we have these young men here, you know, they could have been anywhere else today. Okay? They They're here trying to do something positive. So the next recipient, we want to say as an organization, we want to thank them for just being present. You know, half the battle is showing up. You can't get a promotion if you don't show up. You can't pass the class if you don't show up. You have to show up. These guys are showing up, and they're also very good students of Coach Rodney Williams would not have chosen to come today. So I want to say for the next person, Mr. Jalen Thomas. Can you step forward, please? Come on up, Mr. Jalen Thomas. Well, Mr. Thomas, the best thing you can do is represent yourself, your family, and your program at the highest level. While you may not have received one of the other awards, we want to say thank you for just coming out today. And we want to give you this official letter as well, saying thank you for upholding the standards of the Fairmont Heights High School and football program. And you know what, man? You know, they don't sell Air Jordans at Target. We're going to give you $100 towards your school expenses. Take care of that for you, man. All right? All right, Mike, is yours, sir. Let's say something.
I can't really speak, but I just want to thank everyone, all my teammates, my coach, Coach Rodney, for helping me be better as a player and a person. And I also want to thank my dad over there, and I want to thank my brother for helping me improve this sport in school, helping me whenever I need it. So thank you guys.
All right. Again, excellence continues, right? When we filmed the video Living History outside of Fairmont Heights High School on May 21st, Saturday, May 21st, between 3 and 4 o'clock, it was 95 degrees outside. It was extremely hot. So thank you to all the legacy players who came out for us to film that documentary. Before I got there, the vice president of Total Law calls me and said, hey man, 3 kids just jumped the fence, went onto the football field. I said, oh man, they doing anything? What's going on? What's happening? He said, no man, they just out there running pass patterns and they catching balls and they working out. I said, is a coach out there? Is a parent? He said, no man, these guys are self-supervising themselves. I said, what? I said, oh, yeah, so if you watch the video, okay, you'll see guys on the field running routes, catching, they were striving for excellence. They didn't know who we were when they came off the field. But one of them was Daniel Fuse. Make sure I say it correct? Daniel Fuse. Okay? So we asked, he said, hey man, what are you guys doing out here? 95-degree heat. You know, he said, man, Daniel he told us his name later. He said, yeah man, I'm out here trying to work on my game and I'm going to work on my grades. Because if I do both, I might go to get one of them Hall of Fame jackets like to the showcase at the school. Hey, me and Tony looked at each other and said, well, we're the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association. We put the jacket there. Man, we were just blown away because I think the goal is we want to achieve, in the spirit of all our great coaches, Coach George Farmer, Coach Bob Caswell, Coach Ralph Payton, obviously, Coach Jeff Pipeblow, Coach Rodney Williams, Coach Stephon Gansert. We want to achieve excellence on and off the field. And if something, by having a symbol of excellence in the school, if it can get that type of reaction and they didn't know who we were, we're on our way. So we just have to keep supporting our young people in the community. We have to make sure we stand by them, we listen to them, and we do our best for them. We can't always turn our back. You know, sometimes, you know, we don't get, all of us board members, we don't get paid anything. It actually costs us thousands of dollars to do this. We don't get paid. But if we can make, hopefully, the place we came from a little bit better, that'll make a huge difference. So, at this time, Daniel Fuse, come on up to the stage, sir. All right. Hey, Daniel, thank you again for displaying excellence at Fairmont Heights High School on and off the field. Your work ethic is, hey, much appreciated. This is an official letter from us with my signature on it saying, again, thank you for upholding those standards. We also, even though you did not win one of the awards that was given out today, man, we want to help you out with some school supplies, man. I got a $100 gift card to Target for you, man. So hopefully I help out. If you'd like to say anything, Daniel, we'll have you come on up. Yep.
I want to say thank you to my family, to my Coach Rodney, my teammates, everybody that's helped me. This is amazing to be here and see all the people that have played before me, and and the new abductees, congratulations to y'all. So thank you everybody, and Horn Nation, let's ride.
Hey, that sounds like a horn to me. All right. And the last young man, want to come on up? Didn't get a chance to prepare anything for you, but I want you to come on up and maybe give your words, and we want to hear from you as well. We want to make sure we tie all our classes together. Welcome, sir.
My name is Desmond Jordan. I want to thank everybody that came out today, and I want to thank my family. There, two tables right there. I also want to thank Coach Rodney. Last year, he coached me really well last year, and he gave me motivation to come out this summer and really work hard and to earn a spot on his team. And I want to thank him a lot for that. And I want to thank my teammates, Dan, Jarrell, and Jalen right there, and Lamb. Even though he graduated, he was a big motivation. He was a great leader to us, and we're going to win a championship. Thank you.
Mr. Jordan, my apologies. We didn't have you slotted to come, but we are honored to have you here. Sir, I'm going to give you my card with my email, which is fhfootballalumni@gmail.com. I need you just to, or you can call me, text me, email me, however you'd like to communicate. We're going to give you $100 to target for school supplies as well, sir. All right. Hey, at this time, maybe we should get the senior board members to come up with all of our current students. And let's take a picture, man. I think this is maybe a historical moment. 50 years ago, they'll look back and say, hey,
Yeah, we gotta get Bill jacket going.
Hey guys, thank you very much. All right, student athletes, you may now return to your tables. We appreciate your presence, and we got a lot more excellence coming. This afternoon, I want to make sure we're going to save 2 awards. We're going to push them back a little bit. We have 2 football alumni that have achieved the highest level of education, doctorate degrees in educational leadership. Okay. We were hoping that one would be here today, and I believe my last communications that they're still trying to make it. So I'm going to push that award back because I would like to really announce them, because I don't know about you guys, it ain't too many doctors coming from some of our neighborhoods where I grew up at, okay? And you get doctors of education? Come on, man, that's some serious achievements, okay? So we're going to push that award back, and I believe Coach Wake is going to help us introduce those 2 players. One will be here, one will just speak on their behalf. So thank you guys very much for that. All right, guys. At this time, I want to make sure we start to move forward. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm actually up for this next category. When we talk about excellence at Fairmont Heights High School, we talk about dedication not only from students, but we talk about it from coaches, teachers, administration. And I can tell you this, that from 1957 to 1994, there was a steady presence in the Fairmont Heights office, okay? We're talking about a time where there wasn't an iPhone, there wasn't a computer, there was no internet. So you're talking about an administrative assistant in the office was basically running the school, okay? And they ran the school for almost 40 years. I can't think of anyone. And then what blew me away was probably maybe about 6 weeks ago, I got a call from her son and said that she wanted to support us because she heard the football alumni were doing great things. And I'm like, wow. And I said, but the only thing is, I said, isn't she about 96? And he said, yeah, but man, I can't keep up with her. So I said, wow, that's impressive. I would like to say, and this was really impressive too about this person, they knew all our football coaches. They knew Coach Farmer, they knew Coach Caswell, Coach Pipelo, Coach Payton, Coach Williams, knew everybody. And I'm just going to say that before I present this award, I want to make sure you know, when you think about greatness, I think this award, I'll just say it is what it is. It's a lifetime dedication to Fairmont Heights High School. Would Miss Ann Crutchfield please come to the podium?
Crutchfield, don't bother coming up here. Stand there, let everybody else sit down and let her stand up for a minute so we get our part. You know.
Test. All right, guys, we have a mic. We're coming to Miss Crutchfield. We are coming to Miss Crutchfield. Miss Crutchfield, thank you for supporting Fairmont Heights High School. Thank you for supporting the football program. Thank you for supporting all the students. You are one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Hornet in the history of the school. Thank you very much. This is long overdue, but we're giving it to you now. From Eric Woodland, he said we couldn't just give her an award. Since she supported the football program so well, he has a special photograph of her and another legendary Hornet that he wanted her to have. So here it is. Miss Ann Crutchfield with Coach Ralph Payton. That's all right. So again, thank you for all you've done for us. And a little overdue, but we want to make sure we got it to you. All right? All right. To one of the greatest Hornets ever. Miss Ann Crutchfield. That's all about it. Way to go, all right, guys. Again, when we talk about excellence, we don't just talk about football players. This person gave dedication to Fairmont Heights High School for 30 years. Again, based on the yearbooks I've seen, she was there before I got there. She was there long after I left. From 1980 to almost 2010, this person basically held down the future of, was responsible for the future of students through her counseling, through her guidance. She even took her work home with her. When students were in need, you probably never do it until this day because she wasn't that type of person to tell you. But she put food on the table, she let students stay with her who were in need at a point, okay? There was one particular student that I was aware of that had a parent that was dying of cancer, a father in Alcoholics Anonymous, suddenly found himself homeless, slept in a car one night, slept in the church one night. Father at the church said, hey man, talk to your guidance counselor, man. We'll see what, see what they can pull out for you. And that act of kindness of speaking to the guidance counselor, she didn't bat an eye. She says, you come to my house until your family is together. Little did she know at that time, the bottom line is, if she hadn't made that decision to help that student, I don't know if any of us would be here today, because that student was me. So an act of kindness 35 years ago might have just brought the whole school back together and saved the history of Fairmont Heights High School. But that's the type of person she was, and still is. At this time, again, one of the greatest Hornets in the history of the school, I want to present the 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award off field to Miss Ruth Owens. Like I said, you're one of the greatest Hornets in the history of the school, Miss Ruth Owens. Okay. Hey, at this time, I'm going to say thank you again to everyone. I'm going to ask Mr. Ed Henderson to come up and present this next award. I think you all might know what it is already.
All right. So at this time, we want to take a minute to recognize a great individual with the 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award on the field. We want to recognize Mr. David Sharpless.
Again, guys, thank you. Give it up for Coach Sharpless, one of the greatest coaches in the history of Fairmont Heights High School. Hey, Coach Sharpless was a shop teacher, but I'm telling you, some of his speeches were so inspiring, he could have been an English teacher. Thank you, Coach Sharpless. Hey guys, at this time, I want to say we want to bring something back to the program that could really help us propel into the future. You know, back in the day, there was a family that went above and beyond for the football program. I mean, picking up kids from practice, taking them to games, inviting kids after the game to the house to a safe place where they could have food and fun and video games and things of that nature. And I just want to say thank you so much to that family. I never played with that family, but we have two of the players are here. And that player, or that family, we want to say thank you for the 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award, Family Supporter of the Program, presented to the Farrell family. Can we get Huey come up and maybe accept, Johnny come up and maybe accept the award on behalf of the family? Miss Farrell, how are you? Miss Farrell, thank you so much. Miss Farrell, we have her on FaceTime. Modern technology is wonderful. Thank you very much for all you've done for the Fairmont Heights football program. Your family has supported this program, kept our players safe, and helped provide a great future for all of us. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Our time at Fairmont Heights was probably the best time of our lives. Our parents were at every practice, every game. We never went without anything. After games on Saturday, half the team would come back to the house for dinner. It was a great time. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, guys. Hey, look, we have two more awards before we get into the Hall of Fame ceremony. The next award, from 1985 until Coach Payton retired in 2003. This person was a presence on the sidelines. He supported the program several times over with anything that needed to be done. Even though he wasn't officially an assistant coach, he provided a lot of guidance to coaches, players, and anyone associated with the program. And at this time, I'd like to present the 2022 Lifetime Achievement Award, Individual Supporter of Program, to Mr. Leroy Tony Watkins. Mr. Watkins, you in the house? Mr. Watkins.
Hey, look, I know we're pressed for time. George and Skip kept saying, like, what are you doing on the 6th? What are you doing on the 6th? And we're like, what do you mean what am I doing on the 6th? Well, now I know why they kept asking what I'm doing on the 6th. I miss Peyton. He represented everything that I am today. I need to get Coach Williams, all of his guys to stand up, please. Everybody that Coach Williams invited out tonight, stand up. So you never know where the ripples will lead you on the things that you do. We know that you're going to make mistakes in the future, but we also know that we're going to love you regardless of what you do. Okay? So I gotta pass on one thing that I said to my son. My son went to the Mather, and as he got to be older, I said, hey, you don't ever want your name in front of somebody saying details at 11. So this is before your time. Local news, when they would tease the upcoming news program, they would say, like, so-and-so did something, details at 11. Okay? We don't ever want your name in front of details at 11. Okay? So fast forward, KK knows my son got the head coaching job at Bishop McNamara.
And the same day that he got that coaching job, he went to a bachelor party where they were doing drugs and cocaine. And he said he thought in his mind that the news would say, for the local news, new football coach at Bishop McNamara seized in a drug raid, details at 11. And he said as soon as that flashed through his head, he walked out and left. Okay? So the challenge to you is, we expect greatness out of you. Okay? We expect it. Okay? But understand that if you fall short, we're not going to leave you. We're going to be here for you, and that these people on this stage are always going to support you, whether you make a mistake or not. We're going to pick you up, we're going to dust you off, and we're going to get you back in the race. Okay? We're proud of you and we love you. Okay? Hey, in closing, look. Skip, Sharpless, George, Peyton, all of those people have been instrumental in helping other people. Because George opened up the gym, I had a chance to coach Dickie Simpkins, who played with the Chicago Bulls, and Monty Williams, who's now the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. So once again, you never know where the ripples will lead you. I want to thank my wife for coming out tonight and supporting me, but more importantly, we cannot thank Carlos and the board here for doing this. This is hard, it's important, and I'd like everybody to stand up and thank everybody that's on the board right now. Give them a hand. Thank you very much.
Guys, the last award before we go to the jacket ceremony. All right, this is our MVP, football alumni MVP for the last year. It will be presented by last year's recipient, Mr. and senior board member, Mr. Dale DeBerry. Come on up.
The greatest athlete of our generation was Muhammad Ali. And when he said, quote, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." The importance of community service lies in the fact that it connects us to the community by improving it, making it a better place for all of us to live in. Giving of oneself to help others and expecting nothing in return is the essence of service. The Ralph C. Payton Man of the Year Award embodies the true essence of Coach Payton. While we all are aware of Coach's competitive spirit and coaching prowess, it was his unwavering and unconditional commitment to preparing us for life after football. That's what mattered most. And he helped to shape many of us in this room into the men we are today. So this year's recipient is the president of a non-profit organization called Creating the Advantage, operating out of Charleston, West Virginia. The organization provides mentorship to youth throughout various sports. It serves over 160 kids directly and over 300 indirectly. The organization is currently in the process of establishing a partnership with the Garnett Foundation and the local Board of Education to create an after-school program and training that will be provided year-round. It's my distinct honor to present to you this year's recipient of the Ralph C. Payton Man of the Year Award, Andre Wingate. Class meeting.
Man, he is a hard act to follow. But first, give it on to God.
It's all right.
It feels great to be acknowledged and appreciated from your peers, people you looked up to, people that set the foundation for you. Quick story, speaking of Coach Payton's inspirational words, at the end of our season, going for a state championship. Mama had bought me a brand new hat, and I just had to wear it. Teacher told me to stop wearing it. And if they turned their head, I go put it back on. They took me up to the principal's office. They was going to suspend me. Coach Payton got there before my mama. For about an hour, he cussed me out. We going for a state championship and you worried about looking cute? You're not an ugly kid, man. You got curly hair. What you want paddling for? Call me jerks, a-holes, gluttons, you know. I know Payton. But to this day, I don't wear hats and buildings. I had a father, but he wasn't around like him. Coach Payton was our father figure. He set the foundation for who we were as men. He made us tough. He made us feel valuable. You know, he made us feel greater than what we were supposed to be in life. All that came through Fairmont Heights and the history, and we heard about it. But what he would not let us do was fail, on and off the field. He held us accountable, and he was a man of high excellence himself. I've never heard anything bad about Coach Payton, never in my life. So I don't know what was out there, but I know that man was a perfect man in my eyes. And I'm honored to accept his role in this moment. TTA came, I've been coaching for over 30 years, but this organization came out of the death of my oldest son. Same qualities Coach Payton gave me, I tried to pass on to him. Unfortunately, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time and he was murdered. But through his death, he brought me back to life. My nephew, my partner, Jamal Davis, I was in a very dark place, probably on my way to do something terrible, and probably would be here today. But he talked me from under that dark cloud. Then I went to my pastor, Reverend Paul Dunn. The first time I came to him, this idea, he said, coming back when you got it all together. Him and I mulled over, put our brains together, and decided what we want to do for our community. And what we decided was we was going to create the advantage. We was going to teach kids how to better themselves, give them a spiritual component, healthy living, put sports in front of them, so they won't be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That we can keep them, their minds healthy, their bodies healthy, and their spirits on point at all times. And that's creating the advantage. Thank you.
Hey, at this time, I'm going to ask Coach George Wake to please come up to the podium, please. Coach Wake, you've witnessed a lot in your experiences at Fairmont Heights High School, but I think it's very important that we recognize two Fairmont Heights football alumni that have both achieved in education, doctorate degrees in educational leadership. Wanted to see if you could maybe say a couple words about both of these. One gentleman is not here today because he's just got a new head coaching job at Virginia State, but his name is Henry Frazier III. The other one, I'm gonna let Mr. Wade just go ahead and do his thing with, because he knows all the players and everyone well. Mr. Wade, if you can say a couple quick words, and one of them is here, we can actually call up. Thank you.
Good evening. What a wonderful affair. Andre, one thing I need to say to you, Mr. Payton was not a perfect man. He was a very, very good man. He was my friend. I loved him to death. We rode up down the road together so many times it's ridiculous. His golf swing sucked, his car had junk in it, but he still was my friend. He was more like a brother. And I brought all that up because I look at these two people standing here now, no matter what people said or did, Mr. Payton and I had 1,000 conversations about how to get kids in school, about academics. And Mr. Payton's favorite words in a place like this is, always give back. And I look at these two young men, Dr. Henry Frazier, who grew up without a father, and Mr. Payton was more like his father than his coach. We made him a quarterback on the JV football team on the morning of the first JV football game because nobody else showed up. And we never looked back because he had leadership skills. He's been in our lives like forever. And now he is the head football coach at Kansas State, Dr. Henry Frazier. The story of the second one is even crazier because when he first came out with the football team, Mr. Payton said, one day he said, I don't think these words moose piss. I said, Mr. Payton, I said, we always give kids a chance. He said, I don't see much in him. And then Skip kept working and kept working. Skip said, he's doing a lot of things. Payton said, what'd you do to him? That's not the same guy. But anyway, fast forward, and now all those life lessons where he wasn't very good, but he kept working, and he got better. Always a good student, but he got better as a person, better as a football player. He could do everything. That's Carlos's brother, Lorenzo, Dr. Lorenzo Brooklyn.
Dr. Lorenzo.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so first of all, again, I'm excited to be among all these great players. I'm just happy to be a part of the team. One thing Coach Payton always said to you, make sure you have your grades. That's first and foremost before you even stepped on the football field. So if you didn't have the grades, you were going to sit. There was no questions being asked. There were not going to be any favors being given to you if you were a star athlete. So for Coach Payton, I really respect everything that he instilled in us as players and encouraged us to continue to move forward. Everything I learned on the football field as a player, I translated into my education, especially when we talk about perseverance. So for this particular award, again, I'm going to thank the Hall of Fame committee, and I want to thank all of the coaches who poured into me everything onto the field and also to help me with life. So again, thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, again, excellence continues. Yeah, you guys didn't know we got NFL players, we got guys who are Secret Service and guard the president, vice president. We got guys from the school who have doctorate degrees. We got football coaches, and most importantly, we just have a lot of good people, great fathers, great brothers, great friends. So, again, don't believe everything you hear in the media all the time. With that being said, at this moment, it is time to go ahead and start the Hall of Fame inductions process. I guess you're going to have to wait a few minutes for that, right? All right, it's time to add to the ultimate elite team. Again, once we add these players, this will be the top 6.3% in the school's history. I mean, wow. You talk about 96.4% will still be on the outside looking in. There are two players who couldn't be here for reasons that our Hall of Fame Reese's. They had commitments with their families, so we honor them. I want to say a special shout out to my actual track coach. Yeah, I ran track a couple years at Fairmont Heights in 9th and 10th grade. Lewis Warren, okay, class of 78, one of the greatest athletes in the history of school. Great football player, state champion, pole vaulter, and track and field. I spoke with him several times. We'll be going ahead and probably FedExing his jacket and certificate down. Also, George Brown. George Brown, class of 02. Any teammates in the house? All right. George Brown will be FedExing his jacket and certificate to him as well. At this time, I want to do something we haven't done yet. We've done a lot. But let's take a moment, give a moment of silence for all the people that we love that we've lost who are Hornets, football, alumni, and anyone else. Let's have a moment of silence in their honor. All right, thank you. I know they're looking down. We need you. We need you. Thank you. At this time, we want to go ahead and start the induction process for players who are no longer with us. And the first 3 players on the list, I just want to let you know, we were unable to find or contact any family members. They were validated by Eugene Jordan, class of 59. They were George Johnson, offensive line, defensive line, class of 1959. Michael Mickey Pringle, offensive line, defensive line, class of 1959. Norris Sidnor Jr., offensive line, defensive line, class of 59. So again, if any of you know how to contact or know anyone who has a family connection, please reach out to me and we will do our best to get their Hall of Fame memorabilia to them. Thank you. At this time, we have a family that is here today that is here to honor 3 players who are no longer with us. These players, when I say are among the greatest players in the school history, when I say they were great, I mean they were great. We can talk about things in the classroom, we can talk about things in track and field, we can talk about things that happen off the football field, but at this time, this family is here to honor the following inductees. William Dickerson, class of 1963. David Dickerson, class of 1966. And Lawrence Dickerson, class of 1968. Show some love to the Dickerson family. Failed to mention that William Dickerson, we all played on both sides of the ball, but William Dickerson was listed as a running back, David Dickerson as a wide receiver, and Lawrence Dickerson, we have him listed as fullback linebacker. They played on both sides of the field with some of the most dominant players in the history of our school, and great people off the field as well. All right, guys, thank you very much. At this time, we want to recognize this next player. He was class of 1981. He's one of Coach Sharpless's boys. His brothers played for Fairmont Heights as well. And all I've heard is just fantastic things about this player, even though he came before me. Show some love for the Woodland family in honor of Alfred Woodland, linebacker, class of 1981. So the Woodland family, come on up. All right, continuing with excellence, this next player, man, when we had the Hall of Fame ceremony last year and his name wasn't on it, we must have got about 200 phone calls and emails. It is time to make history, right? One of the greatest players in the history of the program, a running back named Eugene Wally. Wally family, come on up. All right. Hey, I want to make sure we didn't forget about two people who have contributed greatly to the program this year. We had again, we said the football alumni went into their pockets to basically fund all the donations and all the programs that we've done. We had two football alumni, and again, we've had a lot of football alumni do a lot of great things, but I want to recognize these two guys because what makes it really important, they weren't elected to the Hall of Fame last year or this year, but yet they've been digging down deep to do everything they can to make sure they get the big picture. It's about more than the jacket. The jacket's great, but it's about more than the jacket. At this time, Woodland family, come on, man, we got Kevin Woodland. We got an award for Kevin Woodland. Come on, the Woodland family. Kevin couldn't be here today due to an unexpected situation, so his brother, Woody, the captain from the state championship team, 83, is here. All right. Again, another brother who stepped up consistently to help us do the things we're doing is our Hall of Fame manager here, Mr. Napoleon Queen. We call him Manzi. Where Manzi at? Oh, come on up here, man. We got something for you. Hey, you know, this is funny. Henry Frazier, I gave him his last snap at quarterback because he was 1 year ahead of me. But the last quarterback I ever gave a snap to is standing right here beside me, Napoleon Manzi Queen, and he's still supporting football alumni in the program. Thank you.
Hey, Commissioner, you on the clock.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
Hey, we definitely in the Hall of Fame. All right, guys. Welcome to the 2022 Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association Hall of Fame. At this time, with the first selection of the 2022 ceremony, the following players will be asked to come up. Eugene Trigger Jordan, class of 59, come on down. Right behind him, please come to the left of the stage, Mr. Jordan. Jackets on the left hand of the stage. The second player, Fred Jennings, class of 65, come on down. Harvey Broadway Dorsey, class of 66, come on down. Yeah. Been waiting since 1959 to get that jacket. All right. Ronald Caldwell, class of 67, come on down. Alexander Al Williams, class of 67, come on down. We got Al Williams, class of 67, thank you. Come on down. Donald Caldwell, class of 68, come on down. Tillman Cease, quarterback, class of 1968, come on down. Gerald P. Stewart, class of 68, come on down. John Brooks, class of 70, come on down. All right. At this time, please welcome the legacy class of 2022 to the Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association Hall of Fame. At this time, gentlemen, please return to your seats until we take the final team picture. I'm going to call up the next group. Did anyone from the legacy players want to say a quick word? Any legacy player want to step up and say something on behalf of the team? Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it at the end of the night. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. All right, at this time, everybody's a first round draft pick tonight, all right? The second group being inducted into the 2022 Fairmont Heights Football Alumni Association Hall of Fame are the skill positions, quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. At this time, Gerald Holmes, class of 79, come on down. Dale D-Bay, class of 81, come on down. Johnny Farrell, class of 82, come on down. Melvin Latson, class of 82, come on down. Kelvin K.K. Thompson, class of 87, come on down. J.R. Meadows, class of 99, come on down. Dwight Hines, class of 02, come on down. William Simmons, class of 04, come on down. All right. And Ron Carter, class of 04, come on down. Dante Hunter, senior, class of 08, come on down. All right, guys, give us a moment for them to assemble, and we'll keep it going. At this time, please welcome the skill positions of the 2022 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Give it up! We are good. All right, guys, go ahead and head back to your seats until we take the team picture. We're going for the third group right now. The following men for induction to the Hall of Fame: Maurice Brooks, class of 75. Wow. Favorite players. Robert Nick McKinney, number 24, class of 86. Dwight Freeland, class of 88. He's still creating the advantage. Andre Nazario, class of 88. And I knew he The myth, the legend, Darius Collins, class of 2000. Come on down. And from the class of 02, Charles Spencer Jr. Come on down. Y'all having a good time? All right. All right. All right. Family, please give it up for the linebackers and defensive backs inducted to the 2022 Hall of Fame. Give it up. All right, guys, here we go. The final group, before we take the team picture, you guys get a chance to take all the pictures you want and get autographs. At this time, the football alumni select the following offensive and defensive linemen into the Hall of Fame. James Jimmy Rogers, class of 1980, come on down. Clinton Dickey, class of 1982, come on down. Miguel Smith, class of 82, come on down. William McNeil, class of 86, come on down, teammate. All right. Tim Convergence, class of 1988. Come on down, Rose. The Bear. Brian Lawrence, class of 97. Come on down. Vaughn Ross, class of 98, come on down. Hey, and this next inductee has got a few of his family and friends attend. Gerald Butler, class of 99, come on down. All right, Marcus Henry, class of 2000, come on down. Marcel Henry, class of 2000, come on down. And he may live in Atlanta, but they call him New York. Justin Parrish, class of you guys really enjoying yourselves. We really appreciate that. All right, we're getting ready for the team picture with the offensive line and defensive line. Have a chance to take the official picture. We appreciate you guys. All right. Congratulations. These are the offensive linemen, defensive linemen. John Madden said you can't play football without the offensive and defensive line. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, gentlemen.